Coming to the top edge of your mat, with your feet firmly planted and the outer edges of your feet parallel to one another. Powerfully engage the leg muscles as you release the tailbone toward the floor, draw the shoulders down, and look straight ahead. Arms by your side, palms facing forward into Tadasana. On your inhale, reach both arms up, interlacing everything except the index fingers. And as you exhale, lengthen the tailbone towards the earth and the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, keep elbows strong and straight as you lengthen once more. And exhale, reaching to the right, powerful reach with the fingertips. Inhale, use the core and arms to come back to center. And exhale, reaching to your left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the arms all the way around behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, if you can, straighten the elbows, lift the heart and the gaze slightly. Exhale, bend the knees to keep an aligned spine, tailbone reaching back, folding forward, arms come overhead. Let your head hang heavy and remain here for another breath, enjoying the stretch through the shoulders and chest. Next, inhale, keep the knees bent, bring the hands to heart center and lift the chest up to move into chair pose, Utkatasana. Keep the knees behind the toes with the option of extending the arms up overhead, shoulders still away from ears. Strengthening the legs for one more inhale. Exhale, moving into a forward fold, keeping the knees bent initially as you lengthen your spine all the way through the neck. If the knees will go a little straighter, you can take them there for another breath without straining the low back. Next, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Torso is parallel to the earth, so slide the hands up the shins if you need to. And as you exhale, take the hands back to the earth, bend the knees as much as you need to, and step back 1 foot at a time to come into a hands and knees position, toes tucked under. Moving into cat-cow with shoulders stacked over wrist. Inhale, as you move into cow pose, lifting the gaze slightly and drawing the chest forward and up. Your exhale, reverse that curve, tuck the tailbone under, spread between the shoulder blades, gaze back at your thighs. Inhale again, moving slowly into a nice extension through the spine, stretching the front body a bit. And exhale again into cat, feeling the stretch of the back body as you engage your frontal abs. Inhale to neutral. And exhale, keeping the toes tucked under, lift the knees slightly, and then start to shift your hips up and back, chest towards the thighs into a modified downward dog with heels off the floor. As you relax the shoulders, you can start pedaling out 1 foot at a time, bringing one heel down, other knee bent. Return to both knees bent, lengthening the spine once more. And if available, without rounding the back, you can take the knees a little closer or maybe all the way down to the mat. As you inhale, release the left knee to the mat. Bring the right foot forward outside the right hand. Untuck the back toes. Press into the top of that foot and bring hands up to heart center into a lunge pose, shifting your hips forward, lengthening the tailbone. You could stay here or follow me along as we lengthen the arms up to the sky. Need a little balance here as you tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee, trying to straighten it. Stay here or spin that back heel in and down, pressing the outer edge of the foot into the mat to move into Warrior A as you encourage that left hip forward. Moving into Warrior B, Virabhadrasana B, just rotate the torso, reach the arms out powerfully to opposite wall, and with shoulders stacked over hip, you can gaze over right middle finger. With all of these poses, feel free to hold longer. Next, exhale, you're gonna just windmill that left arm over, spin back to the ball of your back foot. You can bring your hands to the inside as you release the left knee, Bring the right knee back and return to hands and knees. With toes tucked under, as you exhale, lift the knees up, core engaged, extending the hips towards the wall where the ceiling and wall meet, moving back into downward dog. Remember to keep the spine aligned, so bend the knees if that's what you need to do. Next, inhale, right knee can come down to help you bring that left foot all the way forward outside the left hand. Press into the top of your right foot and powerfully bring the torso up, hands at heart center. You can stay there or tuck the toes under. Using balance and strength, lift that back right knee. Option of bringing the arms up overhead and spinning that back heel down, moving into warrior A, Virabhadrasana. You can say A or 1. Both feet firmly planted, equally carrying the weight. Exhale as you rotate the torso and move into warrior B, gazing out over the left middle finger. Enjoy one more inhale here. And as you exhale, start to windmill that right arm over, spin to the ball of your back foot. You can bring the hands to the inside, lower the right knee, bring the left knee back. And once more, tuck the toes under, brief downward facing dog. You could skip this downward dog. So whether knees are up or down, we're gonna move into plank or modified plank with the knees down. If core can stay engaged, low back doesn't sink, you can lift up into full plank, shoulders stacked over wrist, powerful legs pressing back through heels. And as you exhale, feel free to lower knees first. I'm gonna try to keep those elbows in and slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, press into the tops of the feet and all of the legs. Shoulders away from the earth as you inhale into a baby cobra, using back muscles only. You should be able to lift the hands. Keep a nice smooth curve in the neck, not looking up too high. One more inhale. And as you exhale, return the hands to the mat. Tuck the toes under. You can move through hands and knees and just pause here. You can stay right here and do some cat-cow, or for my students that have been doing yoga longer and are familiar with it, we'll take it to full plank. You could still move through what we did, or this time, lower into Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping the elbows by your side, shoulders away from the earth, pressing back through the feet. Your inhale will glide you into Cobra as we did before, or upward facing dog, powerful pressing through feet and hands, slight gaze up. Regardless of where you are, bring the knees back to the mat, big toes together, and very slowly start to settle your hips down to the space between your heels. Arms come by your side as we release into Balasana, child's pose, bringing the top of the head to the mat. So it's not the forehead, it's not all the way the crown. It's kind of just beyond your hairline. Shoulders relaxed, palms up, surrendering to the moment as you breathe and reconnect. You may choose to stay here longer, and when you're ready to continue, place your hands by your knees, help to push yourself up, shift your hips over to one side, and bring the feet around, extending them in front. We're setting up for a seated forward fold, so I'm moving the bum out of the way, possibly bending my knees as I slide my hands back and check that I have that aligned spine. Shoulders stacked over hips, belly drawn in. If available, you can bring the backs of the knees down, toes are towards the sky. Firmly pressing through your foundation, moving into Paschimottanasana. Lift the arms up, get some powerful length. And as you exhale, think about your chest moving towards your toes. Hands can come to the floor, your legs, or your feet, depending on your range. On your next inhale, make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. Your neck is long and aligned with the rest of the spine. And as you exhale, maybe you sink a little deeper into your forward fold. Continue that process, inhaling, coming slightly out, realigning as needed. Exhale, moving down, maybe a little deeper, keeping the knees and toes to the sky. If you choose to stay here longer, you could surrender into a little bit more of a rounded spine to make it a bit more restorative. To come out of it, inhale, bring the chest and head up a bit. And exhale, you can walk the hands back. We're then going to come down onto our back. So bend the knees and scoot your hips forward. You can use your hands or your abs to come all the way down onto your back. Once there, bring one knee at a time into your chest and rock side to side, massaging those muscles around your spine. Now open the arms out to the side, palms can stay up. And as you exhale, allow both knees to stay close to your body, landing close to your left arm as you turn your gaze over to the right side. I like to slightly lift up on that left shoulder blade to encourage my right shoulder blade down into the earth and enjoy this twist. For your next inhale, bring your head back to neutral and use those powerful core muscles to keep knees together and come back to neutral. Allowing your exhale to release the knees to the right. As you gaze to the left, again, this time you'll be lifting the right shoulder blade, scooting it to the right a bit to help the left shoulder blade sink into the earth. Continue breathing. Next inhale, head back to neutral, knees come back to neutral, and bring the feet to the floor. Knees are still bent. Realign the spine if you need to. Bring your left hand towards your heart and your right hand on your belly. Heels in as close as available. Open the knees out to the side, soles of the feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana. Again, check that you're lengthening as you need to the spine, but you will have natural curves. Feel free to close your eyes and enjoy this position. And gravity do some work to stretch those inner thighs and connect with your heart and your breath. And then to move into traditional Shavasana position, which is corpse pose, deep relaxation. Bring the knees back together and extend one leg at a time so that the feet are a little bit wider than your hips, maybe about the width of your mat. And your arms are straight, a comfortable distance away from the body with the palms facing to the sky. Just adjust your head and neck as needed until your body feels like it can surrender to stillness. And enjoy this pose as long as you can. 10 minutes will be fantastic, letting your body assimilate all that you've done and help to soothe your nervous system, promote healing and health. When your Shavasana is over, to safely exit, start to slowly move fingers and toes, turning head side to side, and then bending one knee at a time, bringing feet closer to your body. You can then scoot your hips to the left, roll over to your right, resting your head on your right arm and left hand on the mat. Use your left hand to help you press back up and find a comfortable seated position. With your sit bones planted, hands can be on the knees or at the heart. As you take these last few moments to give thanks to yourself for taking this time out for healing, health, and slowing things down. Thanks for joining me.